the post marriage life is you do some crazy stuff, man. So, this is a crazy podcast. Okay, shout out Vanessa.
Shout out Vanessa and Alex, man. I'm glad it's going well.
Yeah. I don't even know. There's no like clean way to pivot to the rest of the podcast. But that's all right.
It's all.
Yeah.
All subjects are on the table, man.
That's right. Well, welcome to the pod. I think this is name TBD. We got East Bay Takes is one candidate, and there's others. Today we're here with a really exciting guest, a man who has done some real Herculean feats. Some might call him a masochist. Others would call him, an endurance superstar. So we're going to kind of get to the bottom of what's going on with our guest here. And I'm also, before I get to the guest, I want to sort of introduce my illustrious co-host who's tapping away like a toddler on an iPad. Here, go introduce yourself.
Hey everybody, I'm Alex Burr. I'm friends with Matt, with Darren, and I also am excited to hear about these events. I was following of Darren's race. I was following along every Instagram story, did every sweet event, and we're gonna hear some amazing stuff today.
Indeed we are. So, Darren, go ahead and introduce yourself, man. Who are you?
I'm Darren Norwood, straight out of Oakland, California. Grew up in LA. That was a wonderful intro, Matt. There is some self-hatred involved in all this. And yeah, let's get to it.
Yeah, man. Well, so I think, it's important. So, just for the viewing audience, the premise of this podcast, Darren ran from Los Angeles to Vegas a couple of weeks ago, it's just crazy. I feel like, most normal humans would literally die trying to do something like that. And so we kind of want to understand what that was like. But I think before we get to that, I'd be kind of curious to know, like, Darren, just a little bit more about you. Like, are you, did you grow up doing endurance type sports? Like, how, like, I think there's a long path to go from wherever you started to finishing this race a couple weeks ago. So, like, give us a little bit of background. Like, were you grow up an athlete? Did you, what happened here?
Yeah, I've always been active my entire life. I grew up playing basketball and baseball primarily. So there is some athletic history there. There's some experience, facing adversity, doing hard things, and working your body. I think I didn't find the endurance aspect of sports until much later in adulthood. I think similar to a lot of people during the pandemic, you're just trying to find ways to get outside. That's when I started doing CrossFit. That's when I started running a lot more. That's when I started biking, and that's when I met you two, Alex and Matt. Got into Waffles and Wheels, and then you go from doing a 20-mile bike ride where you're whooped for the whole day to then doing an 80-mile bike ride. And then you pick up stuff. You pick up how to fuel, how to sit in the saddle for those long period of times, how to work through pain and some of the issues that you have when you're out in the Marin Headlands or the Presidio trying to make it back home. So taking all that knowledge and then applying it to running. So I've only been running for maybe 2.5 years, so not that long. But I think I have a long history of athleticism, exercise, listening to my body, and just working out that helped propel me to do all these things.
Yeah. Wow, and let's pause there on Waffles and Wheels for a minute.
Yeah.
That is how like the three of us all met. And I just want to say at the top, shout out to Kelly. Shout out to Kelly because before Waffles and Wheels, Waffles and Wheels, it was the Major Taylor Hills and Sips ride. And I just want to say Kelly was right. Just for the record, Kelly was right.
She was right. And the way I got involved, I was actually just riding by Artichoke, and she was like, "Yo," she just saw it. She's like, "Yo, you're black. You want to ride with us?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah, fuck it. I'll be here next week."
Yeah.
That's how I started.
I didn't know that was how you found it.
Yeah. Yeah. She was sitting there at Artichoke having drinks with, I think it was like Devin and some of the OG people. David was there.
Yeah.
And then that's how I got involved, man.
That's dope.
Yeah.
I think I got involved with Waffles and Wheels through like an Instagram post. Like,
Oh, hell yeah.
it was like 2020 or 2021. And I don't know, in the house. Alex and I lived together at the time, and I was just scrolling Instagram or Stravas and found the post, and then I don't know, or maybe did you find it? I don't know. How'd you get connected?
Matt, I think that you found it. I think you found it. I was still new enough in the East Bay that I would have been too scared to go by myself. I'd be like, I don't know. I've never been on a group ride before, so I didn't know what the dynamic was.
Yeah.
And so then we went together, you know, because then we at least like knew each other. And then everyone was just so nice though. And then I was like, group riding is amazing. It's so much fun just to like sit on someone's wheel and just suffer together. It was and then I feel like after doing Major Taylor, the entire direction of my hobbies and where I spend my time completely changed after that. So, dude, it was a big turning moment for a lot of us.
Yeah. I mean, the best way to get to know someone is going on a long bike ride with them. The walls fall down. You get the real them real quick. If they're angry, frustrated, it's going to show.
Yeah.
If they're cool, got that, it's going to show too, man.
Yeah. The social veneer kind of fades. It's like you really kind of get to the soul of somebody when you're 5 hours into a ride. It's like, who am I here with out in the wilderness?
I don't think that, like, I'm thinking about our long rides, and there's been all the stories are like stories of support. Like Darren, when we were going to the lighthouse with Jacob, it was like 130-mile ride. Like we had crosswinds. It was like all day.
He had an allergic reaction.
To a energy bar.
Yeah.
Jacob Saracen?
Jacob Sherrison, and then he was like, all right, you lay down there and breathe. We're gonna like flag people down, asking them for Benadryl. But that's how like all long rides go. Like you support each other because you're out there together in the middle of nowhere. But I'm trying to think of the stories where people cracked and you're like, you're a freak. And you're like, you're not a good team player.
This wasn't going to be a podcast about Darren's race, but let's just expose weirdos in the biking community.
Yeah, expose them. Dude. Don't ride with this dude.
All right, so Darren, so you got connected to endurance stuff originally through Waffles and Wheels. Like that's kind of when you started doing these like 5-6 hour longer
cycling.
Yeah,
Yep. And then you just slowly get better at it. And then so I think what turned me on to running, it's not even that crazy of a story. It's just like I'm riding in the morning during a winter day. There's ice on the road. And I'm like, yeah, this is not for me. I'm not riding in the winter anymore. It's 34 degrees up here, and this is not fun.
It's
so then I'm
miserable.
like, it's miserable. I don't know how these people are doing this.
Yeah.
And then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just start running the lake. I started running the lake like 3 or 4 times a week. Then I found Renegade, which was right on Grand. Walked in the store, met a couple people, and then I was like, all right, they're doing trail runs. I'm gonna go to a trail run at Inspiration Point, like over in the Wildcat area. And then that's how I started trail running, and it's been history ever since, dude. And I met a woman, a black woman named they call her Mama Lisa. Her name is Lisa Felder. She's run like 300 marathons or so.
Damn.
She's also run a couple 100-milers. And so she got me tapped into this group of black runners. And then so that's when I first started training for Miwok, which is an endurance run in the Marin Headlands that it's 100K. So it totals about 62 miles and 11.5 of elevation gain. So then I started training for that, and then from there I was like, I can do this shit, and just started pounding out runs, man.
I think I remember I saw the Miwok run on Strava after you did it, and that's when I was like, okay, there might be something wrong with this guy.
yeah. What is the mental distortion? Nah, it's a bunch of crazy people out there, but they're all cool. You meet some of the best people on the trails, man. And then I think like.
Dude, Darren, I was wondering, what do you think it is about the Bay Area that makes it like a hot spot for these ultra runners? Because we also have big events here, the Miwok, like you're saying. There's like the North Face 50K. There's all kinds of like
Spartan puts on a trail race. I think it's just like when you're in LA, you can't really. I grew up in LA. The reason why I chose Oakland home is like you can see the hills and they're only 15 minutes away. And for me, you just can't resist. You can't resist it. It's a place to explore, and you figure out different ways of enjoying these spaces. Gravel riding, mountain biking, trail running, all 15 minutes away from Lake Merritt. And you're just like, I think people live here for that reason. You have the exposure to nature, you have the exposure to the city life, you have exposure to the best of both worlds.
I feel like people out here they like to be doing something. They like seeing things. It's like the perfect mixture of the city life and the nature, and you bring that energy, and that energy goes onto the trail because people just want to be doing crazy. It's just a crazy feeling. You want to experience that.
Yeah, and then I feel like whenever my family or friends come up from LA, they always say people from the Bay Area can't dress. Why are people dressing? And I'm like, yo, we got better stuff to worry about.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, you see my garment? It's a $1,500 watch. You see, like my most expensive outfit is a ski outfit or a trail running outfit. That's just it, dude. We got better stuff to worry about out here.
100%. That's funny. Yeah, I grew up in like LA as well, like in like sort of Pasadena, Monrovia area, and I do feel like, I don't know, the thing for me that makes Oakland and the Bay Area feel like home is like how much greener it is here. Like when you're in LA, like there's concrete everywhere in a way that like when you live there it just feels normal, but when you come up to a place like here, just the greenery along the freeways, being able to like look up at the highway or at the hills and it's like lush green hills versus these like desert hills, it's just like a different environment that kind of feels good for the soul, man. It's a special place.
Yeah, and you can like just look out across the bay, see Mount Tam. Yeah. It's like, I gotta get over there. Run over across some creeks. See some nature. It's all,
Yeah, Griffith Park Observatory doesn't have shit on Mount Tam.
It doesn't, it's not comparable at all, man. You're like, what the fuck is this, man?
Like a Mount Baldy, bum ass mountain. That's dope. Okay, so all right, so Miwok was like that was your first sort of big ultra sort of like running event.
Yeah.
What was like, and that was 60 miles. What'd you do between Miwok and this LA to Vegas thing?
So I just started training on the trails. So I started off doing my first goal was like, okay, I've run road marathons, but let's see if I can do a trail 50K, which is about 30 miles. And given the hills, it's a lot harder than I expected. So you go through, like I couldn't even walk at the end of the race. The hardest part of the race was getting from the finish line to my car in the parking lot, and it was only like 100 feet away. So it was like once I cooled down, but I started training for that. So you go in the Marine Headlands, you hit the Rodeo Beach, and you go straight up the hill all the way to the bunker that's at the top, and you come back down Tennessee Valley, and you wrap all the way around. And so that's where I learned, like, hey, it is different from biking. I have to fuel a lot more. Salt is important. It's important to get enough sodium because you don't want to cramp up out there, which I did. And it was just data points for learning what I need to do, how to listen to my body, and what nutrition I need to have the endurance to get up and down these hills for 30 miles and be moving for 5-6 hours at a time.
Yeah.
And so starting there, and then you just sort of keep inching your way up, dude. So from a 30 miler, I went to the 50 miler, and then from the 50 miler, I was like, you know what? I think this 100K is gonna be a cakewalk, and it wasn't a cakewalk. It was terrible. So that first race was insane, dude. So a third of the race didn't show up. A third of the race did not finish. And it's because there was a storm that day. It was like 75 degrees, crystal clear, day before and day after. But that single day, a storm came through. They call it atmospheric rivers now. But the wind chill on the hillside was like 32 degrees. So people were getting hypothermic. They were pulling people out of the races. The only reason why I finished that one, I think, I took refuge in the porta potty, and then my brother met me along the trail.
Potty.
That's how diabolical it was. I was like, this is better than being out there. My brother met me on the trail and gave me a ski jacket. I ran about 40 miles with a ski jacket on. Wow. Shout out to Mountain Hardware, man.
Look at that.
Got me through it, dude. Got me through it. And then I was like, damn.
Sponsor this man.
This is fucking crazy, but I'm going to do it again.
I think this is a good point to pause, because so for me, like personally, I unfortunately can't run. I got fucked up knees from stuff I did in my 20s. But Alex has done some pretty, big runs. You've done half marathons. I think you've done a full marathon.
I did a marathon.
Yeah.
I did a 30K.
Well, so I think
trail race.
can you just because this is one end of the spectrum. This is another. This is like Alex maybe more representative of like an average runner who's
Average
done
Joe
something
right here.
crazy. So for you, Darren's talking about we did this like 26. I'm gonna do more. Like immediately jump to the next. What's your experience like getting to do a marathon? How does your body feel? And are you when the idea of doing a 50 mile or 100 mile after that? What does that do for you?
That makes me very scared. That makes me shaking my britches. That I feel it right in my hips. Because I think what I'm scared about is because I'd be out there all day. I'd be out there for 48 hours if I had to run like 50 miles. Because it just takes so long. And then I just can't believe like the speed you can have on the flats. Like you must be like covering so much time and on the uphills because like when an average Joe is like there's no way you can keep a good pace on the uphills and then you're just out there forever. And so so it's just an amazing thing that you can do.
How do your joints feel? Like, how does your body feel after you do these activities?
Bro, every single time I've done a trail race, I've rolled my ankles. And
Oh,
so,
damn.
but like, so that's also the crazy thing. The more, dude, it's simple math, bro. The longer you are out there, the higher the probability of getting injured. Every single trail race I do, I'd get like fatigued, and then it'd be dark too, and then you start like losing your placement, and then you twist an ankle. It's happened so many times. So it's unbelievable that like you could be running for that long and not injure yourself because holy shit, dude, descending the trail it's like it's mountain biking and skiing all together when you have to descend a trail on a trail run. You're like literally hopping around finding the best line, and when it's a race, you're like going as fast as you can, so you're gonna like fuck up, and dude, you never do.
So yeah, that's one of the misconceptions of trail running, though. Like you don't.
That was a great question, by the way.
Yeah. You don't like so. And one of my first experience trail running, we went to Big Tree State Park, me and Alex, and then I saw him descending, fucking flying down here. I'm like, oh shit, this dude's crazy. But and then I was like, all right, I gotta pick it up. So that was one of the inspirations. Like I can go fast downhill, but also when you're doing these long races, unless you're trying to get in a top 10 or something, you can get a pretty good time by slowing it down and just keeping that same pace throughout the race. Because people are going to slow down when you get to mile 40, 50. So if they're starting off 8 or 9 minute miles and then start running 15, 16, you're going to catch up to them if you just keep it at 11, 12 for the entire race. And you're going to end up with a good time. So there's never really a reason to pick it up and go balls to the wall. When you're doing these long endurance runs.
It's the longest, but Darren, I think that's funny because I feel like you're Darren, you're a man that like is like, all right, I did the thing, the next thing, I did the thing, the next thing, and so I feel like that would be hard for you because you're someone that just wants to like get the thing done and go. Was it hard at first to like you're because you probably are starting at like a 10:30 pace, a 12, an 11 minute pace, and you're like, I know I can go faster. Like, how was that?
No, because I fell into that trap many of times. I've had a lot of bad races. Listen, I gotta be clear about that. I've had races where I started crying. I'm like, yo, I'm done. I get to the aid station, I take my shit off. I'm like, yo, man, what the fuck? I'm out of here. And then this lady, I remember there was one race I was throwing up. I was like, I'm done. I took my shoes off. I took all my gear off. I was just sitting there in the chair. I was like, yeah, I'm done. I need someone to come pick me up, take me to the sideline. And then she looks at me. She's like, nah, that's not true. And then she comes back and she's like, yo, look at your tattoo. It says relentless and you're going to quit. And then I was like,
Damn.
and then I was like, what the fuck? What kind of aid station is this? Like David Goggins here. And then so I'm like, all right. So I've never been one to respond to like words of affirmation either. It doesn't do anything for me. But the moment you start talking shit and like, oh, you a little bitch. I'm like, oh no, I got my shit back on. I'm going.
That kind of resonates. Like I feel like one of the best pieces of feedback I ever got from a boss at a job. Like I had this big new responsibility, and there was no like, all right, it's gonna be great. It's like, don't fuck this up. I was like, all right, Michelle, like, that's real. Like it was.
This pod has become the roast of Darren Norwood now. All right, let's proceed to do that.
Wow. Okay. So you had bad races, fallen into the trap of kind of going out too hard.
Yeah.
But seems like you've maybe figured out how to manage that like early race excitement and just kind of commit to a pace and just kind of stick with that. Let's kind of like move forward a little bit now and like kind of get closer to this LA to Vegas. So I guess before we talk about some of the details, can you just like describe the origin of this event? Like, how did it come together? Who usually does it? Just like paint the picture of what this thing is.
So the event is called the Speed Project, and one of the premises of this is it's like no spectators. And what you pick your own route. Everyone runs a different route. There are some routes that everyone converges on because it just makes sense. But you're out there as an individually, even though there's people racing, and some people have support, some people do it solo. And so the idea of it is like, hey, how can you get from point A to B as fast as you can? Maybe using the least amount of resources you can. If you have a crew, how can they support you? But you're just trying to find your way to Las Vegas by kind of just like any means necessary. And it's you look out for other runners, of course, but you look out for yourself mostly. Try to find resources as you can. If you're driving through towns, you pick up food. But the premise of the race is like, hey, we all start in Santa Monica. We're all going to get to Las Vegas. You have your own route. There's no spectators. How do you motivate yourself? How do you find that inspiration when you're out there for your third day trying to get back out there and finish the race? And then, we'll see you in Vegas. Hopefully you're there by Sunday.
No,
Yeah.
and I was looking at this a little bit on Instagram. It seems like a lot of people who do it as like a relay team.
Yeah. A lot of people do it as relay. They've expanded the relay
Soft.
too.
Sorry.
Yeah. Some people. There's been teams that have done it. There was a team that ran from Tijuana. There was a team that ran from San Francisco as well, and the majority of the teams start from Santa Monica. So you can do it as a relay. You can do it solo. So by the fifth day, I started seeing relay teams pass me, which was like, damn, now I gotta pick it up because I've been out here 5-6 days. But I ended up finishing that day as well. So
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So that's the event. How did you first hear about it and think maybe this is something that I might be interested in doing?
So I watched a ton of YouTube videos. There's a guy named Tommy Runs, and then there was another guy named Malcolm, 2 black runners who've done it. So I watched their YouTube videos, followed their journeys through the race, and then I was like, I think this is something I can do. But getting in the race is not straightforward. You have to know someone who has a link or it's not something you can just go online and register for. And Keelan knew someone who ran the race previously, and then she got me the link. And I was like, yeah, I still don't know if I can do it. She was like, you should do it, Darren, you should do it. So then we got plugged in. I got into the race in January, and I was like, okay, I got to lock in for the next 3 or 4 months here and just try to train for this race. But it's not like I was training from zero, though. I was already in shape. I've already done previous races. I just had to work myself up mentally and physically to be able to like, hey, I can put back-to-back days together, 60 miles or more, and just make it happen.
Mm-hmm. Darren, do you have any hot takes on training now after training for this event? Because I remember talking with Keelan for a little bit, and she was like, yeah, sometimes Darren's training is just like, I'm built different and I'm God's gift and I can do this thing.
I'm built different. Like, man, like, dude, my premise on running is you have to do more than running to be good at running. People just going out running 50, 60 miles and like, oh, I'm injured. Yeah, motherfucker. Like, yeah, you didn't do shit else but run. Duh.
You gotta mix it up.
Yeah, you gotta mix it up, dude. So, my whole thing about running, I'm not going to be a person who's going to sacrifice their whole life just for a training cycle. I'm going to say, hey, I have to do these miles, but I'm also going to go rock climbing, build up some strength in my upper body. I'm going to go, if my friends tell me, hey, we going mountain biking, I may do a 10-mile segment before and then go mountain biking. I'm not going to be like, nah, I'm not mountain biking because I got to go run 20 miles. I think that's dumb. I think you burn yourself out. You get injured by keep doing the same repetitive movement over and over. So my hot take is don't fucking just lock in on a training plan and just say, this is all I'm going to do. Do other stuff. Go lift weights. Go play basketball. Go mountain bike. Go do other stuff. And your mileage might look low, but if you exercising consistently, you're gonna get stronger. Mm-hmm. And you just and it's isolating yourself that way. My hot take is you don't need to work out in isolation. go run. I like when I see people I play basketball at Artichoke, or people that ride bikes with at Lake Merritt. And you have this whole community of people that keep you motivated throughout the training cycle. Yes, you do have to get the miles in, but it's not the end all be all if you're not running 60 miles a week. I have never done that, and I've had some pretty good races. And I don't get injured because I mix it up. That's what I think. So that's my hot take.
Being full, well-rounded, strong body, strong mind. That's what we like to hear. But there's the training aspect, but it's an insane logistical challenge as well, this race, because you have to everyone has their own route, or is there like one route that's like, this is the one that's like the fastest, or some people doing some sneaky segments to like shave some time off?
Yeah, a lot of people have. So a lot of people's routes are similar. People may vary for 8-mile segments here and there where they cut off some corners and stuff. But I think once I locked in on the route, that you can get into a rabbit hole trying to fix the route. And you can be, and then I got to a point where it's like, yeah, this is the route. This is it, dude. We're sticking with this. I'm tired of thinking about where I'm going to be going. And then let's just get the RV. All we did was, hey, I'm going to meet you 7 miles down the road. And then I will just run 7 miles, eat, and then we'll just keep repeating that until the day is done. There will be some segments where I couldn't meet the RV for. I had to do. I think on day 3 or 4, I had to do like 17-mile segments by myself. So
before we get into that, let's do this. Let's talk a little bit about like the RV and describe the support structure.
Yeah.
And then we'll go day by day and just kind of talk about what that looks like. So yes,
The Fuck It We Ball line.
Fuck It We Ball. Yeah, that was our
RV.
team name. Fuck It We Ball, man.
Yeah. So tell us about the team. Tell us about the RV. What's all that look like?
So our team name was Fuck It We Ball. It's more so just a mentality like, hey, this is what we got. These are our resources. We're just gonna get it done. We're no frills involved. Whatever the circumstances are, you just have to accept it and just do what you gotta do to get the job done. So that was our mentality. We rented an RV. That's where we slept. That's where we ate, cooked food, and that's where everyone who came out to support the race converged. So I had my cousin out there, my brother, I had my friends Scott and Greg. Keelan was there all 5 days. My boys Crockett ran with me ton, like 40, 50-mile segments. And then a woman named Emily was there. She ran over 50, 60 miles with me at various points of the race. So I think we had a full team. People came through different days of the week depending on their work schedule. And yeah, it's just like, hey, this is the route. Everyone has it. Just follow the route 5, 6, 7 miles, whatever we agree on, and I'll meet you there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That makes sense. You're kind of painting the picture of the team, how it works with the RV. All right. So let's get into it now. So day 1, what time you start? Yeah. Just like tell us about the first day. How are things going?
Day 1, the beginning of the race is always tricky, right? Because I don't really start to feel nervous until I see the start line and then there's a whole crowd there. Then I'm like, oh, did I gotta go take a shit. I gotta go pee. So then we get there, everyone's cheering. So then the butterflies start happening. We're out at Santa Monica Pier 4 a.m. And there's 30 runners there. There's a crowd of people. Everyone's taking pictures.
4 a.m. I'm out already.
Yeah. 4 a.m, 4 a.m. And then they're just like, they do a little prep, do some breathing exercises. Guy does a sort of like a hype speech, and then they're just like, all right, count down from 10 and then go. And then you're like, oh shit, we really doing this. And then you just start running. And then everyone kind of just scatters. Like you can tell some people just some people are going up Pico, some people are just going straight ahead, and people are just taking their route. And then you see people, and yeah, that's how it started. You just go.
This is downtown LA right now. You're in the heart of the city.
No, we're in Santa Monica
Santa
right
Monica,
now.
at the
Santa
pier.
Monica Pier. But I did run through downtown. That was like a few hours later though. I met my boy Ray in Koreatown. I see him, he's smoking a blunt. He's like, you ready? I'm like, well, fuck it, you ready? But then he ran 40 miles with me that day. And we're aiming towards Victorville. So we're just going through downtown LA, through Pasadena, and we're just meandering our way up. And I was like, yeah, I can make it to Victorville in a day. I've done races where I've done 100 miles in like 25 hours. But I quickly learned that this is a different beast. First off, it got really hot. as we got more inland, it got to like 85, 90 degrees. So I was like, after 30 miles, I was like, yeah, we're not making it to Victorville today. We have to, plan B, C. We were all the way on plan Z by that time. Like, yeah, we're just going to get what we can done, and then I'm going to sleep. But yeah, it was a hot day. We're going in the stores. We went into different, like, anytime there was a Starbucks, I got ice water. The OJ from McDonald's, I love it because it's not real orange juice. It's just straight up sugar, like syrup, and so it just gives you a boost when you're out there. Just sugar, you just get on the sugar high and you keep running. But yeah, day one, I think the story of that was just managing temperatures, managing heat, trying to stay cool, and then figuring out like, hey, this is not going to go as planned. Everything I had written down, throw it out the window. Let's figure out how to get this done, and then it just becomes a what's the plan to make this happen as best as we can.
Darren, on day one, were there any what were some miraculous, magical things that happened where you're like, oh, that was just chance, but that helped me so much? Any trail, like kind of like talking about like trail fairies, you know, like trail fairies, people coming in and helping you to help you get through that day.
Yeah. So it was early in the morning, like 6, 7, right? Hard to find businesses that are open. But so I ate 2 McGriddles. I had a
That's a normal
Celsius.
day.
Hell no.
I had a Celsius.
This is insane.
Like this, I was like, oh.
This is why I had to take a shit.
Yeah. My stomach immediately started bubbling, dude.
Yeah,
and I'm like, looking, and then so I'm running, and I'm like, I had to meander off route, try to find a gas station. So I found a gas station, but they had the door locked up. But I found this business. They were just opening up. They was like, usually we don't do this. I was like, I'm running a race. I just need to use the bathroom. So I went in and just blew it up. So that's the first thing. that helped me. Yeah, 2 down. And then I think when I told people that what I was doing, like you'll pull up to people working construction, or they're like, you're running from where to where. They're like, oh damn, here, just take the water, man. Yeah. They're like, you need this more than I do. So they're like giving you water bottles. They're like offering you food, all that stuff. So you run into people who are just fascinated by the story, and they're helping you out along the way. So I feel like there's no way to get through that race without like sort of meeting people, and it happens by chance, but it works out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then so just trying to imagine what it's like on sort of like the hour by hour basis. Are you listening to music? Are you doing this no music? Like what does that look like?
So I start off with no music, just trying to power my way through it. But then I started listening to music, but I had to. So my thing about listening to music and running, maybe you guys can relate. The more intense the song, it makes me hotter, or like raises my heart. It's not relaxing at all. And I'm trying to get into a more zen state. So I started listening to like Motown, things that were more
slower tempo.
Slower tempo music.
Yeah.
I started listening to like I'm trying to think of her name. It's a song called "Tell Me When You're Gonna Tell Me Goodbye," like love songs. The song like "Silly of Me to Think That You." That song, all that stuff. And so I just started putting it on a Motown playlist. I started putting songs on repeat, maybe listening to it like 50 times back to back, and then that's how I started getting through. And then you start paying attention to the sort of the emotions the music give you rather than the run itself. But there's a fine line for me, because if I started listening to I tried listening to Turnstile, I was like, yeah, this is too much for me right now. It's too much. Yeah.
Huh. Wow. Okay. So day one, how does like day one wrap up? Like where do you end, and how are you feeling at the end of that?
So I had a plan that where I thought it was going to wrap up, but I think we just had to get it in. So I just ran until I felt like, yeah, this is a good time to sleep. So I ran to maybe 10:30 the first day. We stopped and got food. We ate, and I was like, yeah, I think this is a good place to call it. It's just a parking lot. Like an outdoor shopping center where there was a grocery store, some food places, and then I just slept there. Pulled the RV in there, locked it up, and then I went to sleep for 5 hours. Woke up maybe 4:30, and then got back to it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, and that's how every day went, kind of.
Yeah.
It was like we had a plan where we would be because there were places where you could park the RV, but I think it just turned into, it's getting late, it's 10 o'clock, do we want to do more? How you feeling? Let's just find a good spot to park this thing
Yeah.
where, like, we probably won't get messed with, and then just go to sleep there
Yeah.
and wake up in the morning and do it again.
Wow.
That's how I went, yeah.
So how many days total did it take?
I went 6 days.
6 days,
So I
okay.
finished Saturday.
Yeah.
So I think that was like April 5th.
Gotcha. Okay, so day 2, where are you? It's 4:30. Where are you starting?
Day 2, I'm not sure where we were.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't even know. But I was like, the first goal is to get to Victorville, so we did that. And then when we got to, I've never been to Victorville. Also, I was completely taken aback by what that place was like.
Hey man, IE just kind of rough in the IE, man.
I'm like, yo, hey,
Oh, we're going to the Inland Empire, dude.
if you're from
Lords of Simi
Victorville, hey
Valley.
man, hey, you got it, hey, dude. That place is different. It's different.
Dude, they got many flavors of meth in
Yeah, they got
Victorville, dude.
many flavors of meth. I was like, yo, this is sketchy, like crazy. But
This is
then,
why you're like, and we wanted to be in a shop where no one would mess with us. No one take the no crackheads are taking our pipes off our IV.
yeah. Man, I got offered. There were. I got offered a lot of things while I was running.
This will help you, man.
A lot of women out there running on the streets that you're just passing up. But
That's incredible. They see a sweaty man in race clothes and they're like, "What's up, daddy?" That's wild.
they're like, nah. Maybe next time. No, but,
That's crazy.
and then from Victorville, my brother was there that day. From there, like he was able to like drive, pick up food. We had Raising Cane, so that was like a pick me up. And then we started heading to Barstow. And I think that day we started heading to Barstow, and that day it started raining a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how far were you ended? Did you end day 2 in Barstow or just on the desert
In between
somewhere?
Victor and we were just out there. So
Yeah.
in between Victorville and Barstow, I think day 2 I did about 70 to 80 miles.
Damn.
And
And you're running from roughly 4:30 a.m. till like 10 p.m.
Yeah.
Taking, kind of run, walk, take breaks as needed, but
It's
like
yep, all day affair. Run, walk, try to manage your body, try to manage your energy, make sure you're eating. Yeah.
Dude, I don't even know what like roads you would take to get to Barstow that aren't like the I-5. Because I'm like what, like. Are you running like on like frontage roads next to the highway, or like what
so
kind of roads
you're
are you finding?
running. There's like trails along next to the highway. There's all these back roads and stuff. So I've never was on the highway directly. So like you'll find all these small cutouts where there's a trail and there's like dogs were a problem out there too.
Oh.
There were all these dogs where they're just not fenced in. So you have to work through that problem as well. Like and I'm like, damn. They actually give you dog treats ahead of the race for that issue.
Which carbon plated shoe is the best to get a dog off you?
I think at that point you gotta just fucking. I had a pocket knife, but I didn't use it. But I think the
Rubber
only way
dogs.
to help is like, yo, you got treats. Just throw them down, distract them a little bit, and then scurry out of there.
That's actually insane. You had to carry distraction devices on your run.
Yeah. But day 2, I think. So there's also I got caught. I had to hop a train. That was one of the highlights. It was this long train and it was moving, and it just stopped all of a sudden. So I waited there for 2 minutes, and you know what? It was me and this other runner that she was from Frankfurt, Germany. And so we were sitting there waiting, and I'm like, you know what? I think we gotta hop this thing. So we hopped over, and I was like, please do not start moving while we're on this. But we made it over, and then that's when we split up. And then I went through this town where there's just a bunch of dogs fenced up, and so a lot of them are able to get out of their fences. And so that's when the treats come in handy, and you're trying to figure out, is this dog friendly or are they trying to do something? Most of them were friendly, though. Most of them were friendly.
Do you feel like once day 2, I'm imagining the desert now. I'm imagining some cacti. I'm imagining some like maybe some abandoned ghost towns. I feel like there's an old water park somewhere along there. And did it stay that terrain basically the rest of the race, or did you hit some mountains? Like,
Nah, once we got to Barstow, it's just all desert, dude. And you're hitting all these towns, so there's you can find water and stuff, but I think you hit these So that's when I ran through the rain the second day. Third day, I started the 17-mile segment on the section. So it's like a power line strip. It's like fire road, but it had rained the day before, so it got really muddy. And so I'm out there by myself, 4:30, 5 in the morning, pitch dark. I'm hearing noises in the bushes. I'm trying to navigate that. Like, yo, I'm actually afraid, but I can't. I gotta keep going. And so you're just in that, basically in the desert. Whatever you got on you, whatever water, you're trying to make sure you have enough to make it to the end. So during that's when I met my RV. They were on the opposite side of that 17-mile segment.
So that was a solo 17
So that was a
segment.
solo 17 miles.
In the mud.
In the desert. And then I reached this point where it was just an 8-mile stretch of road, power lines all the way through, and I can see the end of it. But it felt like, I think that's one of the biggest mind fucks ever, when you can see the end of the road and you're like, damn, why am I not getting closer? It's been like 3 hours.
Yeah, you're like in purgatory. Like, am I dead? Like, I'm just kind of like running forever. Yeah.
And then so I made it through that. And that was one of the spots where a lot of people's routes converge. So I met a lot of runners. I met this woman named Michelle Wong. There was why am I blanking on her name? The woman from Germany, Frankfurt. There was another Abraham. He was there. So there were a lot of other runners. And then from there, you got to hit another segment. I had to do another 14 miles unsupported. But by then, it's not in the dark. I feel better. The sunrise, I woke up. And so you're just like, okay, get some food in you. And then you're back out there, another 14 miles.
And that was the end of day 3 or day 4 that you had to do the 14-mile segment?
That was day 3.
That was day 3.
Yeah.
So a common thing in life is the hero's journey, like where you get your mission, you start it, it's unexpectedly very hard, like you're talking about plan A, B, C falls to Z. You're like, what's going on here? But then, you have your like burning bush moment. You have your realization that like powers you for the rest of it. Do you kind of feel like this day 3, day 4 power line segment was your like burning bush moment, or?
Yeah, so I think the way you put it, you saw the hero story.
The hero's journey.
The hero's journey. So I think what happens is you start off high, right? You're like, yeah, I'm doing this. I'm on top of the world. We're getting this done. That quickly fades down, and I'm at the bottom, dude. I'm like, damn, I don't why am I even doing this? I don't want to do this anymore. But then, like, once you get past that sort of low, and then you see other runners out there, they're struggling. There were people out there crying, but you're all trying to work through it. And then you're like, you know what? It's not even that bad, dude. Just like calm down, work through it, and then you start working your way back up to that peak. And so when I was out there for that 17-mile segment, it had rained the night before. I ran through the rain, and then I was like, I don't really want to go back out there. My body's stiff. I'm tired. I'm already 100 and something miles in. Like, I can call it. No one would think less of me. They're like, yeah, that's pretty crazy anyway. You still ran that far. But then I'm like, all right, we got to go back out here. And there was times in that muddy segment when it's pitch dark and I'm by myself where I'm just like, yeah, this is fucked up. This is like real crazy, and I don't want to be doing this. But then you just got to keep, like, I think in my head, I'm like, all right, I just got to keep inching forward, man. Try to take my mind off of it, turn on the headphones, and then just start working my way through it. And then when you see, like, when I saw the sunrise, one, and then I got to that 8-mile segment where it's just straight and there's just power lines lining and I can see the end of the road, I was like, yo, I haven't done it yet, but I can see myself. There's a version of me at the end of this fucked up journey. And that's for me, it's like the hero's journey. It's not this like fantasy where you're just riding high the whole time. It's more so you start off high, you hit the bottom of the barrel, and then now the hero's journey starts when you're working yourself back up to that peak. And I think that segment was me working myself back up to that peak. And then when I hit the end of it, it's like, you know what? I know for sure there's a version of me in Las Vegas that I have to find, that I'm going to spend the next 3 days trying to meet. And so that's the hero's journey, the way that I see it for myself, and I think other people can relate.
I got goosebumps hearing that. That was amazing. That was awesome. The visualizing, it's like you're deciding yourself. Like, I'm the timeline. I'm the multiverse line that completes this thing that doesn't quit. Do you feel like after you hit that point, like the feeling of quitting was further away? It never got as close, or do you feel like it was still there, like lingering?
No,
You had
I think
rejected
after
it?
I got to that point, after I hit that low, I made it through that. Now I was on an upward trajectory. So like I ran through the rain. There was also the RV was fucking shaking. It was windy, dude. And I'm like, bro, I don't want to go out. I had every excuse to not go out there. It's wet. The wind is howling like a pack of fucking wolves out there. The wind is going crazy. The RV shaking. And then you're just trying to work your way up. And then that's when Keelan had all these videos. That's when I saw like you and Alex. And then Alex had a video where he called me Goodwood Norwood. I don't ever call me that.
I was like, Darren, I hope you're not watching this in the morning, right when you wake up. That could be a little awkward there.
Honestly, that's what got me out the door fast. I was like, all right, yeah.
We don't think about this.
And then it's just like, yo, I got all these people who are like invested also, and it just gives me extra motivation. And then they even had a video of my grandmother who was like, yeah, you've done all these things, you've been working on the ambulance, all this stuff. And I'm like, yeah, all right, if my granny's on camera, I can't go home and be like, yeah, I didn't finish. Like, nah, that ain't what we're doing. So I gotta keep going. But then I think from there, getting through the rain, getting through that, now I hit that low. Now it's just an exercise of building myself up. And then as you do it, you get like, it's like, yeah, I don't think there's a version of me quitting at all now.
So at this point, you're is this day 4, day 5? Kind of like when you're describing kind of this, like you've hit the bottom of the barrel, you're starting to like come back up. Like, where are you in this race?
So they started raining the end of day 2 when we left Victorville. And then now we're on day 3, where we do that 17-mile segment where I'm like, yeah, this is terrible, but I'm in the dark, I'm in the mud, and I'm trying to work through it. And now I'm at the lowest I can be, and now I'm trying to work myself up from throughout day 3. And so throughout day 3, I did about, there was a 17-mile segment and another 13 miles where the RV couldn't reach me, where I had to do it by myself. So now it's just, now you have that, what it's like you have this moment where you have to look within yourself. Like, I still got 13 miles I got to do. There's no one here to help me. I'm on the trail by myself. All I have is the water that's in my bag. I mean, on my waist belt. I got to make it work. I'm not gonna die out here, so it's like, yeah, you gotta get it going.
Probably,
probably.
You might, but yeah.
I mean, I did have a few times where I sat down and like was like, I'm just gonna like, I gotta take 15 minutes, just go to sleep right here, find a little piece of shade, and just close my eyes for a little bit. But then you're like, okay, I can't stay here forever. I gotta get going. And then you're just using all those little sort of methods to work through the problems. I even had like Skittles I would tuck away. Like, when I'm feeling low, I just pop those, and it give me some like a little brain wave. Like, let's go. Yeah, and it's crazy. I've never experienced a run where I'm by myself for that long. Like a 17-mile segment, given I had already ran over 100 miles, so I'm moving slow. Where it took me, like, you're just by yourself for maybe, I think I was out there in the dark for like a good 5-6 hours.
Wow.
Just trying to make it through. And then you get to the end of that, and then they're like, okay, you gotta do it again. So there's another 5-6 hours where I'm going to be by myself again. And so that's when it just becomes an exercise of just looking within yourself, trying to motivate yourself and like, yo, what is it that you got, dude? This is the time to show, this is like, you're talking to yourself, this is the time to show me what you got. That's just what it is.
Yeah.
And then you just got to get through it.
Dude,
Yeah.
it's so good. So then it's like, so then you get those ones, and then it's almost like, and now it's like the halfway point because it took 6 days total. So you're really in it. You're in the mindset.
Yeah.
It's almost like there is no before, there is no after. There is just like we're waking up and we're running 7 miles, eating, doing another 7 miles.
Yeah.
So what's happening on day 5 now that you're like you're in it, and you're just repeating that process.
Yeah, you're just repeating the process. But after a certain point, like you get out of these trails, and then there's also road segments. So you're able to lock in a little bit, right? The road segments, it's just, you don't have to think about where you're going. You got 50 miles of road ahead of you. And now you're just locked in like, yo, we're just going to do 6 miles at a time. all the way through. That's all we're doing today.
And that's at a faster pace, right?
Yeah, that's
way
at a faster
than the
pace. So
trail.
now I'm able to start busting out 10, 11-minute miles. And then you're just like, all right, run to the RV, get some food, chill for 10 minutes, do it again and again and again. And it just becomes repetitive. And then you see, and then that's when you have different people. Some of my friends roll up. I think Crockett came on day 5 because he ran with me. We did another stretch, all-nighter, 30 miles of trail from 9:30 to 6 a.m. And that shit fucking blew my mind, dude.
In a good way or like in a crazy way?
In a crazy way, dude. Like we started off 9:30 at night, and it was the way the map went. It's just 12 miles up, 12 miles down, and so it started off cool. We're like listening to music. We had service the whole time, so we're like bumping tunes and everything, chatting. We had emergency blankets, so I crawled up, took like a 30-minute nap, then got back up and started going. But I started hallucinating crazy. I started seeing like you know the Bad Bunny concert where the people were in the bushes. I started seeing faces and shit like in the dirt, and then started seeing figures in the distance. I'm like, this is actually freaking me out. But I was like too tired to be scared almost. And so I just like, oh well, if they got me, I can't run. So just keep going forward and forward. And then he had a flight to catch the next morning, so he ended up like running ahead 2 miles, and then once we reach the end, once we can see the RV at the end of the 30-mile segment, and then and then I just walked it in. Came back 6:30. I didn't say anything to anyone. I just laid down and went to sleep for like 5 hours, dude. Yeah.
That's wild. Okay, so like day 5, you're hallucinating. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And then so day 6, like the end is in sight. Like tell us about that. Like coming into Vegas, like sort of the emotions you're feeling leading up to the finish line, and then like kind of what happened after you cross it.
So
And also, you're in a pretty good position right now. You're wanting to fight for a top 10 finish.
Yeah. So when we finished that 30-mile segment, I woke up later that day and then did another 20 miles on the trail. That's when Emily ran with me. So we ended up in Primm. So Primm is the end of day 5. I decided to go to sleep. We're about 40 miles from Las Vegas, but I was already spent. Some people kept going and pulled all-nighters and finished. But I slept for like 3-4 hours, and then I woke up. And then from there, I was like, I'm fresh. I'm feeling good. Now we're just in go mode. All we did was we hit this trail, 8 miles, ran across some salt flats, which was a crazy experience. I've never done that before. The ground was all mushy. It was cool, but it was like, it's just like salt white as far as you can see. So run through that. And then from there, it's just like now we're hitting Las Vegas Boulevard, and I'm just running down fucking Las Vegas Boulevard as fast as I fucking can. And then that's when like you see people actually start to race. Like there was a guy, Abraham was ahead of me, and I can see him sitting down with his sister in the car, and then he sees me, he looks up, and he puts his shit down, and he starts running, dude.
No new friends in Las Vegas.
No new friends. And I see people behind me, like, lurking on me, and I'm like, dude, we gotta pick it up. So, like, that last day, I wasn't even stopping at the RV. I was just like, yo, go up 5 miles, just fill up my water bottles, and then when I get to you, I'm just gonna switch it out and then keep going. So I wouldn't even sit down. I would just run, just booking it, dude, just booking it. And then did that for the last 40 miles. And got to Las Vegas. There were several other runners. There was my guy Andy already there. Michelle Wong's already there. Zach had already finished. I think I dropped down to 12th place because I slept, but it's all good, dude. I think given what I accomplished, I felt proud of myself in that moment. And I was just happy to be done, man. I was just happy to be done. And I don't think I could have done anything differently. I needed to sleep that day.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So, like, what are the emotions like when you cross the finish line? Are you just like, thank God I can stop? Or are you just like, holy shit, I did this? Like, what's going through your head when you cross the line?
So everyone's congratulating you. There's a brilliant excitement. You got champagne bottles popping. My cousin brought some Henny. I'm taking shots. Everybody's like live.
Yeah, I think you had a cigar.
I had a
You're
cigar,
looking like Michael
dude. I had a
Jordan
cigar, man. Andy was there. The woman named Michelle Wong, she had finished a couple hours earlier. She was there. People that I saw along the race who would like give me tips, like, hey, and Andy had actually gave me this playing card. I don't even, it's similar to Pokemon, but it's not. But it had a quote on the card. He was like, yeah, I was looking for something to give you that would be inspiration. And it said something to the extent like, it will take The character was called for the sake of the quote, it's called like the Slither or something. It would take an apocalypse to stop the Slither now. And so like that quote is just like, yo, you're here. Nothing's gonna stop you from finishing. It'll take the end of the world for you to not finish this thing. Now you're just pushing to go. And so there's all these little tidbits that happen along the race where people are other runners are giving you like motivation to keep going, to keep striving for the finish line. And then once you get there, there's this wave of excitement. Then now after that dies down, I feel relief. Like, yes, this is over. I can like rest. I haven't slept more than 4 hours for the last 6 days. Plus I've been running and I'm just like, I just can't wait to get in a hot tub and then just to go to sleep. And so you feel that relief, but everyone's like taking pictures. There's more runners coming in, so you don't want to be jackass. You have to celebrate everyone, right? The same, and like pay it forward. But then it's just like, yo, I'm glad I can like sit down, eat, and I don't have to think about what the next step is right now. Now it's just like, yo, just rest. You did it. Just rest.
Just enjoy it.
Yeah, just enjoy Las Vegas, man. Go play some blackjack or something. Yeah.
Wow, that's incredible, man. I'm trying to just like, there's like, I don't know, getting to hear you describe your experience with this, just the mental fortitude that you're describing throughout this is kind of what stands out to me the most. Like, pushing your body, pushing your mind to just continue to go for 6 days when you're exhausted on 3 to 4 hours of sleep. That's earlier Alex was joking. He was like, I'm built different. It's like, man, you might be built different, man. I don't know. That it's really impressive. And I'm kind of curious, like as a sort of wrap up, like, it's been like a couple of weeks. Like, how do you feel about it now, looking back, both in terms of like, as like a life accomplishment and as a like, are you going to do something like this again?
I think it's one of the hardest things that I've ever done, hardest things I ever do. And I learned a lot about myself in this process. I think one of the things that running has taught me, just endurance sports in general, it's like when I first got the idea of running 100 miles, it felt like it was something way far off, something that was not for me, something that I could not do. It was like something way far and beyond something that I could ever do. Almost felt like making the NBA. Like, that's not gonna happen. Pick another route. Do something else with it. So, but then you start running, and then the whole thing is like, you just have to do short-term goals and just work your way up. 1% gains over a long percent of time turns into like you're a totally different person after a year or so. And so you're just making these 1% gains, and you figure out like, hey, this thing that I thought was way beyond anything that I thought was possible for myself, now I'm doing it. And so it's like you can apply that to so many other things in your life where you're like, there's just untapped potential within you. And whether it's like you're trying to become a better runner, you can apply that to your career. You can apply that to your friendships. You can apply that to your family. How can you be better in all these other things? What is that untapped potential that you're trying to lock into to just give you that improvement across the board? And that's what I've learned. Like, nothing is beyond you. If you see other people doing it, there's a simplicity to it that you just have to figure out. And there's a simplicity to all this stuff. And you just have to take the first step to just like, if you can take one step, you can take two turns into 10, and then 10 turns 50, and then 300 miles later, you're doing it. So it's just like, that's what I take away from it. There's all this untapped potential within me that that we all have, that if you start to look for it, you'll find it, but it may be arduous. It may take some time. There's going to be some growing pains. There's going to be some tears involved. You're going to have to do 30-mile segments alone, where it's going to be fucking shit hard. But when you make it to the other side, you'll figure out, it was always within me to do this thing. That's what I took away from it.
Dang, dude. That's a beautiful that's a beautiful lesson right there. The lessons for a lifetime.
Yeah, I think we can go out on that, Darren. Hey, congrats, man. Thanks for coming on the pod, man.
Thanks for having me, man. Awesome, dude.
Yeah, like and subscribe. I don't know where this is going to be, but listen to this shit and throw us some subs.
Yeah.